Here.
Okay, thank you very much. At this point, we would now extend the privilege of the floor. If there's anyone who cares to address the council on any topic, they're welcome to do so. And if we could ask you to please use the microphone and give your name and address. Good evening.
Good evening. Marty Lamon, 124 Ward Street. Just here, my monthly visit. A couple questions over the last month since the last time I was here. I talked to a couple of the contractors the other day, and they said they're closing, getting things done, and I guess the plumbing's done. I take it that none of the outside structure, they're going to do anything with that. Jeff, do you know anything, or is that just
The garage? Is that the garage?
Well, the garage got a couple holes in the roof, so they're pretty good size.
The garage had been cited under separate order, hadn't it, Mrs. Corvo?
Mr. Mayor, I don't recall. I'd have to pull out that file.
Okay. I thought there was like a timetable on that was November-ish, somewhere in there.
There were two orders issued, one condemning the property, and that order stands until it is released from condemnation. The second order was for work on the exterior of the home, and I think that was due to be completed by October 31st, 2007.
Okay. Do we know if those have been completed?
Have they been completed? No, I don't think everything has been completed. They have been started.
What's the sanction for not completing it?
I don't know if there is any.
What's been started on the outside? Nothing.
Excuse me?
He painted.
Anything's been started? Or?
He painted the porch roof, didn't he? That little level.
Yeah, right. Back in August, he did paint about 5 feet. You know, and another thing that we were questioning, I mean, the other night the codes department come up, it was 6 o'clock at night, and, you know, I know how everybody thinks that they go through the house and look at everything, make sure he's not in there. Well, they locked the back door, and then they left, and when we were standing there, I said, you know, that you guys ever check the side door? And they, oh, no, the side door's, it doesn't open, it's never been open. I said, well, you know, you might want to check it just in case. So they go up and push the door, and it opens up, of course. It's been like that for probably a month. So they had to go and back and put a lock on that, and this is all on city's time, which I imagine, I talked to quite a few people, the taxpayers weren't very happy about paying for all this overtime to accommodate him, to fix up a house that should be done during the week, not on the weekends, not at 6 o'clock at night. I mean, a lot of times we open it up, nobody's even there. Nobody goes over there. I mean, I've seen one contractor in the last month over there.
Right.
I mean,
There's still no occupancy granted, correct?
No, there is not. I did speak with Mr. McQueen this afternoon about the property. He has indicated to me that everything has been completed except for the electrical certification. The inspector is prepared to go in and do that inspection of the electrical, and if it passes inspection, then the condemnation order will be lifted.
Was he also cited for the outside of the house?
Yes.
Okay, so, and nothing had really been done for the outside?
That I can't speak to. I'd have to ask Mr. McQueen. But the work on the outside of the house does not impact the condemnation order.
No, I understand that, but Mr. Lehman brought that up tonight, and if he was cited for that, what time frame does he have to take care of the problems on the outside, and what penalties are imposed? I know that we passed a very stringent code. I think it was kind of superseded when the state came in, but if the house isn't painted, so on and so forth, there's different things on the outside that can also be cited.
That's correct, and they were cited in the second letter that Mr. McQueen issued to Mr. Moot. I don't have my file with me right now, and I can't speak to that specifically. It's my recollection that the time frame was October 31st.
Okay.
But if a property owner is working on their home, and we have property owners across the city, if they're working at taking care of the problems, then the Code Enforcement Department is going to work with the property owner.
No, and I understand that, Mrs. Corvo, but the point still is, apparently there is no work being done on the outside at the present time. The last time that something was done on the outside, and quote me, or Let me know if I'm wrong. Wasn't back in August when he did some painting? Would that be a fair assumption?
Exactly when the last time anything was done to the outside of that house.
So if he was cited for the outside of the house, and my question, if you could let us know tonight, I realize that, but what happens if he hasn't met the requirements of that October 31st deadline, if that was the deadline?
I think the biggest point here that really upsets everybody in this neighborhood is that we come down here every month that you have the meeting, and every time we ask a question, nobody's got an answer. It's like, I don't know, I don't have this file. You're coming here tonight knowing that we're going to be here, we want some answers. Nobody has any files. Nobody knows what's going on. This has been going on since August. I mean, this is unexcusable for a city council to come in and not have an answer for us when something happened in August every time we come in here. And just like I was asked the other night at a thing that was commented, when we ask about the health inspector, everybody says, well, why won't they have a health inspector? And Mr. Sly says, well, in my opinion, you don't need a health inspector in there. Well, when was the last time Mr. Sly has been in that house or over to that house? I don't think I've ever seen him over there. Is there, I mean, if you're going to pass judgment on something, why wouldn't you go over there and take a look at it yourself and form your own opinion, rather than say, well, somebody said we don't need one? I mean, that doesn't seem like the right way to do things. I mean, I would go over and look myself before I even made a statement like that. And I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, Jeff, I mean, we've called you. We've done everything we possibly could do. You know, we're not asking for him to be removed or anything. I don't care if he lives there. All we're asking for is to get our neighborhood back where we can have everybody in the city not driving by, staring at the house and making comments. Every time I go somewhere, it's a comment about him. It's a comment about the house. What's the city do? Why does the city do this? Why does the city do that? I mean, it's just coming to a point where something has got to be done. Some physical evidence has got to be done. There's nothing been done in that house. I mean, unless they're working at night from 11 to 7, there's nobody in the house doing any work. I don't know how all this work's getting completed.
Mr. Mayor, the Code Enforcement Department, the engineer that Mr. Moot hired, that engineer is certified. The work that's been completed, plumbing work has been done by a certified plumber, city-certified plumber, and, you know, we have to trust that Mr. Moot's engineer is not going to put a stamp and his signature on a document and falsify to the city of Watertown that the work has been completed. That work was ordered by Code Enforcement. That work has been done, and the only thing that is left is an electrical certification.
Mrs. Corvo, echoing the comments of Councilman Clough, you're not sure if October 31st was the deadline for that exterior work to be completed?
No, I am not.
Do you,
That's my recollection.
okay. Do you have those files here, or do you have any paperwork associated with that here that we could find out tonight?
Do I have, are they in the back room? Yes.
I'm just curious if that is the date and what sanction, you know, is at our disposal because it has not been completed.
So we have this information available.
I'll be right back.
Why don't we take a 5-minute recess while she gathers that information.